Yeah, that's why I don't think I could ever date a comedian or a magician.
This is Whose Creek Is It?
The podcast where two sisters recap and pontificate about the show Dawson's Creek.
I'm Miranda, and I've seen the whole series at least 5 times.
And I'm Allison, and I'm watching this show for the very first time. Let's get started.
We're in the like building attention and phase. We're not it wasn't like a big explosive episode. It was this like things slowly piling together episode.
Yeah, and the like premise or what it's based off of is just so weird. The episode is season 2, episode 8, The Reluctant Hero, which is an odd name, and I don't know. Dawson's a hero, I guess.
It was a strange choice.
Yeah. But I want to note that it came out on November 25th, 1998, my birthday.
Woo!
Director was Joe Napolitano. Yeah, I pronounced that right. Writer Shelley Meals and Darren Goldberg.
Those are some people. And as usual, we open in Dawson's bedroom with just him and Pacey watching, what was it, 12 Angry Men? Or it was something else.
Something in Washington?
Oh, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Yes, that. I totally know what that is.
I've heard of it. I think it's about a movie about like an everyman going to Washington to like use the power of bravery and democracy or something. Tell you what, we can Google it because we live in the future. A really fucked up future, but a future nonetheless. Idealistic young Jefferson Smith is appointed to the United States Senate. He gets a mentor, but the mentor isn't as noble as he thought, and there's a scheme. And the movie is from 1939.
Well, yeah, Pacey complains about this movie being old. It's in black and white, and he says something really, like, morbid. Everyone in it is dead people.
Maybe there was a child in it. If there were children in the movie, they might be alive.
And then Pacey compares Dawson to the main character, I guess. He's like, well, you're just this nice, helpful guy. I don't know. That's why he likes it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, he says something about like, oh yeah, Dawson, you're the kind of guy that takes in stray dogs and helps old ladies cross the street. You're just like a classic old hero guy. And I'm like, no, he's not. That's not.
Yeah.
He doesn't take in stray dogs. I've never seen him help an elderly person. He's very like stereotypically chivalrous when he likes a girl.
But very self-absorbed.
Yeah, I think it's more Pacey is not able to separate how Dawson seeks to position himself versus how he actually exists in the world. So,
yeah. Dawson's apparently the nice guy, and that's what this episode's about. Okay, so then while they're talking, Jen comes stumbling in through the window, drunk, and she says something I love. I dropped my purse in your hedge. Remind me tomorrow.
Yeah, like that's something I would say to my friends or my friends would say to me. I mean, my initial reaction was like, oh, Jen, because clearly this is meant to signify that Jen is not in a good place.
But she's being funny about it.
Yeah, she's being funny about it. And it made me, I had to quickly like backtrack in my mind to be like, okay, where did we leave Jen? Oh, the last episode was the one where they all go to the rich guy's house to study and she sleeps with him and then wakes up and realizes like, ugh, I don't feel great about that.
And Dawson mentions that this is the 3rd time this week that she's come over to crash at his place.
Yeah, that's concerning.
Yeah. And then I guess Pacey refers to like Dawson as a hero. Hero Dawson.
Okay.
And then Dawson expresses concern for Jen by saying, I don't know what to do about her. She's spiraling.
Kinda. This was sort of the beginning. So from the jump, this was sort of the dynamic they're setting up. And I was thinking about if I were watching this show in 1998 or like 15, 20 years ago, maybe I might have just automatically accepted the sort of premise that the writers are giving us, that, like, Jen's out of control and spiraling. But, like, as an adult with, who's also a feminist and thinks women should be able to drink and have sex when they want to, I was like, I don't know. I'm not fully, like, she's not doing great, but, like, this is all a little paternalistic.
Yeah, it's a little after school special.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they sometimes go there from time to time. It's like, oh, if you drink and mess around, you're going to destroy your life. Meanwhile, a lot of people I know who have perfectly normal or even good lives have gone through periods like that, and they're fine.
Yeah, I can't say for sure for you, but I think we're both pretty not messy people.
Yeah.
For the most part, we are not climbing into bedroom windows and leaving our purse in hedges, but, like, some people that works for them for a while.
Yeah, I don't know where my desire to not be messy or / be perfect comes from. I think it's just like, I don't want to, like, if I'm messy, that means I have to kind of put trust in people and things that it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Which
it's a control thing.
Yeah, it's a control thing.
Yeah, we can unpack that more off mic.
Anyway, but I am like, if you're that worried about her, I mean, I guess he's being a good friend in terms of, like, do you tell her grandmother? Do you not? Why is her grandmother not realizing she's gone 3 nights a week?
Yeah, it's a little open-ended there.
But they take her shoes off for her.
Mm-hmm.
Just let her sleep sideways on the bed.
Yeah, she threatens to puke, but then she doesn't.
Yeah, she's fun at acting drunk.
It seems like it if you're a good actor, it could be a fun thing to do.
Okay, so next, we're in Dawson's kitchen, and Mitch is in the kitchen, I guess, packing things and moving out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's reaching out to Dawson to try to spend time with him. Uses the term, like, as a friend. Yeah, just trying to... I guess he's realizing he feels like maybe he can't be a full parent if he's not there. So he's like, I'll be your friend.
Yeah, it seems like he has realized that if he makes this decision about moving out of the house, he wants to reassure both Dawson and himself that he still wants to have a relationship with Dawson. He's still his dad. But he is kind of awkward in the way he delivers it. And one thing he said that stuck out to me was Mitch said something like, I know you're disappointed in me. I don't think he's wrong, because the last, like, argument they had about this, I feel like Dawson was like, well, just fix it. Just fix the family. Leaving can't fix the family, so just fix it. And and I'm like, you're disappointed in someone for leaving a loveless marriage or a marriage they're not happy in and trying to cope, like... He's a kid, he's allowed to be dumb, but I don't think Mitch has anything to be disappointed about. It's like, you can be disappointed with the situation, but, like, I still don't think Mitch really did anything wrong.
I think it's just maybe... Like, it seems like Dawson internally is spiraling, and his dad is acting so tactfully and not, like, flying off the handle and stuff, and I think it's, like, throwing him off.
Yeah.
Like, he should be more at peace with it because his dad seems more at peace with it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's something there. I think it's... Because when you're really upset or, like, you feel really out of control in a situation, sometimes it's almost, like, more frustrating if someone else is being really calm. It's like someone's telling you to calm down, which is rarely a good idea. That being said, a lot of times when someone is spiraling, it helps to be the, like, calm presence, to be the person that, like, isn't getting all wound up about things. But yeah, it seems like Dawson would be mad no matter what his dad did. Dawson's just being messy in a different way.
Before Dawson heads off to school, Mitch gives him a piece of mail that apparently he accidentally picked up. Um, and Dawson walks out of he storms out of the house and then stops to look at the mail in the yard, and his face is all excited and shocked. So we're like, I guess it's good mail.
Yeah. Looks like good news.
So next we cut to Pacey with the guidance counselor, and we get some info about Pacey. The guidance counselor says you have a 1.7 GPA. You're failing, I think he said like 2 or 3 classes. And that you're not good at tests requiring a number 2 pencil, which is very strange. Isn't that like all tests at school?
Well, what I inferred from that is he frequently will show up to take a test and just not have a pencil.
Oh, maybe. I thought it meant like using your brain kind of test versus like a physical test.
Oh.
But I have no idea. That I put question mark after that because I was like, I don't know what they're saying, but okay. And that he was like, I'll take a look at your I'll take a look at your career aptitude test. And he's like, huh, I didn't know you could fail a career aptitude test.
Yeah.
Some parts of this episode feel like they're written to be like exaggerated for comedy.
Yeah. Except like the guidance he wasn't quite pulling it off. He wasn't delivering the comedy, or like it just wasn't well written enough to be funny. It was.
Yeah, I come to his defense a little bit with saying like he did report it in a very like dry manner, and then I think he says to Pacey when Pacey's like silent, "Oh, you don't have any comeback to say to me?"
Yeah, no quips.
Like he's kind of reading Pacey and mimicking his behavior back to him.
Oh, he is, yeah.
It's still a very strange scene.
Well, and I think the sort of takeaway is that it basically sounded like, I mean, obviously the guy was like, so you've no career prospects and nothing good to look forward to. But what I feel like, what seemed to be the stakes was that he was essentially saying, so you can repeat the sophomore year.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was the actual like stakes to the scene, but they didn't really focus on it that much.
No. So I don't know. If someone said all those things to me, I would like start crying.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
But Pacey's just like, yep.
Yeah, he's just, yeah. It's frustrating.
Yeah, and this guidance counselor, I think, is not doing a good job.
Yeah. It's hard to say if this is their first meeting or one of many meetings, but it was, I don't know. Some people do need a tough love approach. It doesn't work for me. Don't be tough to me. Clearly this guidance counselor was not going to like turn Pacey's life around.
Yeah. For me, I'd say like, I think having someone believe in you when the chips feel down and it feels like you can't get out of it, like having someone believe in you makes all the difference. But this guidance counselor was not giving that energy.
Yeah. Oh, and he also made this remark about welfare reform.
Oh, yeah.
Basically saying that, like, so you've no career prospects, so you'll basically just be living off welfare until we get rid of that. Okay?
I don't know, maybe there was something going on in the news at the time.
Anyway, we don't need to get into that right now. But,
yeah, let's just continue.
I don't know. This was 1998 when everyone thought, wow, the economy will just grow forever.
Yeah. And, yeah, so next Dawson runs up to Joey in the hall to tell her the news, which is that they won the Boston Film Festival's Juror Prize in Junior Division of something or other. And because they won, they were given $2,500 for the next movie and to be a part of a winter workshop, which that gets swept aside. We never hear about that again. Yeah. And so Dawson's all thrilled. He's excited to start another movie. He wants Joey to be involved. And then Joey's kind of just pausing like, oh, I don't know if I really want to
it's like
be involved.
Yeah, she's sort of, I guess they did call her a producer back in season 1. but it always sort of seemed like this was Dawson's thing. And I think it hadn't occurred to Dawson that not everyone is passionate about it.
Yeah. It never occurred to him that maybe his friends were involved, not because they are interested in pursuing it or like truly enjoy doing it, but just enjoy being around him and helping him out.
Yeah. Also, the glowing review he got in that letter was like a bit over the top for whatever footage we saw of that movie, but
yeah.
Maybe the finished product was incredible.
Yeah. Joey declines and says like, well, you know, with art classes and work and school. So they're like, yeah, she's still doing that art thing.
Yeah.
We just don't see it.
Yeah.
Very much. I don't know. Dawson seems a little disappointed.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I guess I'll go make my movie by myself.
Yeah, he's like clearly disappointed, but he kind of holds it together for Joey.
Mm-hmm. And then Dawson leaves and Jack comes up to Joey and apologizes about what happened like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, when he kissed her because the moon was full.
Yeah. And then he's like, you know, I'd like to be friends. And he says, you know, I kind of feel like you're avoiding me. And she's like, what? No, I'm not. And eventually she kind of says that he might have been right about her being mad at herself for what happened. And yeah, he's just like pretty easygoing, I guess, in this conversation. Like no pressure, but just like, you know, I miss hanging out with you.
Yeah, he's he sort of, it seems like he let it rest for a while and he's like, hey, are you ready to like be cool again?
Yeah.
And it was kind of, you could kind of see Joey in real time realizing that now that she's not with Dawson and that she just basically said no to Dawson about something for not maybe not the first time, but she hasn't done it that much to him. I don't know, it sort of seemed like she was realizing like, oh, my world has opened up a bit. Like, by not being attached at the hip to Dawson, I have other things available to me.
Yeah, there's other opportunities. There's other dick in the sea.
And at the creek.
And at the creek, that would have been better.
There's other dick in the creek.
So yeah, they end on a nice note.
Yeah.
And next we cut to Dawson in the cafeteria typing on a laptop, which I'm like, this kid has a laptop in 1998.
And a small laptop. Which I don't know if that was a mark of quality or not in 1998. But I was like, it seemed like it would have to be a pretty advanced laptop to be that small. I feel like they were bigger then. And to have a laptop at all in 1998 in high school, but...
Yeah, but, you know, it seems like he comes from a well-off family, considering the size of their house and that his dad doesn't seem to ever work.
Yeah.
And Jen comes and sits down next to him. He's like, so how are you? And she's like, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
I'm not hungover anymore.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, girl, that is a young body.
She's ready to go again.
Yeah. And Dawson lets her know that he won the film festival award. Jen looks genuinely happy for him and says that she's proud of him.
Yeah.
And Dawson's like, well, you know, you're a big part of that. You were the star of the show. And she's just like, yep, if you ever need me to say like 2 words in a movie again, I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, she was really like, really sweet about it and clearly excited for him. I think he got the reaction from her that he was expecting or hoping to get from Joey.
Pacey and Andie are also in the cafeteria, and Pacey has told Andie about his meeting with the guidance counselor. And Andie gets very upset, and she gets on a soapbox about like the school system and that like you need to like help believe in these kids, and like that the system's just built against people who are failing and there's no like safety net to help them or something. And she's like escalating her soapboxing. This whole thing was weird where Pacey turns to like the rest of the cafeteria and is like, everyone, Andie McPhee or whatever, and everyone claps.
Yeah. Like, she was talking loud, but like for a high school lunchroom, it wasn't that crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sort of felt like I don't know. Maybe it was just meant to show us like an example of Andie getting really worked up about something, which just seems like something
Mm-hmm.
she does. She starts talking really fast and like verbally processing out loud, but she's, you know, she's very much on Pacey's side of like, you just need some help. You need someone to believe in you.
Yeah. And it is interesting to me that in this moment, Pacey doesn't seem like embarrassed at all about his situation. Like, I mean, he didn't keep this guidance counselor meeting a secret from Andie. And then when she gets like all loud and boisterous about her opinions about it, like, I don't know. I just would think he'd be more embarrassed about his situation.
Yeah, it's hard to say, because on the one hand, he sort of like wears his idea of himself as a screw up. He sort of wears it with pride. I don't know. It's Pacey. It kind of reminds me of if you've done improv comedy or probably even stand up, you do run into some people who like will not stop doing the bit. Like they won't just level with you and tell you how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're just like it just everything's a bit and they won't be genuine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I don't think I could ever date like a comedian or a magician.
Because you never know when they're being genuine with you.
Yeah, just like there's a disingenuousness of both of those careers. Like comedians never get serious, and then magicians, their whole act is falsifying what you see.
Magicians, the ultimate gaslighters.
Yes.
Yeah. I think comedians, I don't know, the comedians I like do get serious, but it's also, you have to be able to like know when you're off stage, when you need to just be a person.
And we're in the cafeteria for a long time. We still have like 3 more scenes in the cafeteria.
They have a long lunch period.
Yeah. So next, Chris comes up to Jen, who's still sitting with Dawson.
Chris being the rich kid she slept with.
Yes, thank you for the exposition. Yeah, so he says that he's impressed that she is at school after the party last night. Mm-hmm. And it becomes clear that she's been like hanging out with him, like they're getting chummy.
Mm-hmm.
And Dawson looks very much not thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
Chris starts massaging her shoulders.
Yeah.
And invites her to like another party that some guy is throwing. And she's just like, yeah, I'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, cool.
Chris is totally a where's my hug kind of guy.
Oh.
He's like, hey, where's my hug? And just uncomfortable women just want to get through this interaction.
Yeah, and then Jen asks Dawson to join. And Dawson's a smartass and is like, I could write my script and have career advancement, or I could just have useless drunk oblivion. I wonder which I'll choose.
Yeah, he was super judgmental.
Yeah.
Super judgmental.
Yeah, and then Jen immediately calls him out on it and is like, just because I'm enjoying myself doesn't mean that, like, I'm a lost cause and that, like, it's none of your business and all this stuff. And then Dawson is a little gaslighty because he's like, what? I didn't say a word. Pulling back, like, oh, you're making this into nothing, which is saying that you're, like, defensive about your choices.
Yeah, he's like, what? I didn't say anything. You're being so defensive. It's like, no, what you said was explicitly negative and judgmental.
Yeah. But they make it seem like Dawson won that discussion, which, no.
Yeah.
Next, we come back to Andie and Pacey. Andie is expressing how worried she is that Pacey is not worried.
Which, like, classic dynamic of a woman doing all the worrying and planning for a man who doesn't feel the need to.
Yeah. But it's also trying to teach women you're not responsible for men.
Yeah, you can't. It's just like the husband who won't go to the doctor unless you make the appointment and remind him 3 times.
That's why men's life expectancy extends when they are married and women's shortens. So she says if you act like a joke, you'll be treated like one. And the term hero comes up again. He's like, there's no hero here. I'm a joke. And she says, I'm not coming to your pity party.
Which, like, yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, she's doing a mix of, like, tough love and also, I believe in you.
Yeah. I believe in you, but it's really irritating when you're being a jerk.
Yeah. Yeah, she says, break the chain. Anyone can reinvent themselves. It's America. Okay.
Yeah, it was 1998.
Yeah, she says, like, Madonna does it every week. I'm like, was Madonna still, like, mainstream in the late 90s?
Yes, I believe she was having a resurgence then. That was her, music, make the people.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So, eventually Pacey kind of gets more serious and says, well, I just don't know how to change. And then Andie's like, change starts from the inside. Heroes are made, not born.
Yeah, and the thing that I kept thinking then is that, okay, we need to stop calling Pacey a hero, and we need to stop putting it that way. Because that's just insurmountable. That's too big. That's setting him up to fail. You need to be like, hey, pick one thing to do a little bit better in your life.
Mm-hmm. Also, like, I don't know, maybe Andie... I don't think Andie's referred as a hero either. The only characters that are referred to as heroes are, like, 2 guys. What the hell?
Yeah, 2, let's be honest, kind of mediocre guys.
But yeah, that scene ends with, like, Pacey doing this long stare at Andie. I don't know what he's supposed to be thinking. Like, maybe she's all right. Maybe I do believe her. I can be better.
I mean, yeah, it's nice to have someone believe in you. But yeah. It feels like, hey, just pick one thing to be a little bit better at, and then you'll gain confidence from that and be able to make improvements in other parts of your life.
Mm-hmm, like a snowball effect.
Yeah. And then we have scene number, 17 in the cafeteria.
I know, these poor extras, or whatever the term is for them these days, this must have been like a week of shooting in a cafeteria. Okay, so now Joey and Jack are in the cafeteria line. Jack is being flirty by listing off the menu like he is a waiter at a fancy restaurant.
It's fine. It's not the worst bit, but it's not a great bit.
It's kind of like the perfect bit for him because he's like awkward but cute. You know, that's like his whole MO.
Yeah, and they work in a restaurant. And...
Mm-hmm. So it seems like almost like the conversation this morning didn't happen because he's like, yeah, I want us to be friends. But then he asks her out here.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that was a nice 2 hours of friendship. She's like a date? And he says, no, like a dat. And I wrote, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yes. What the fuck, Jack?
Also, I noticed when they were paying for their food at the cafeteria, they had just these cards that the lunch lady would punch hole. And I was like, is that a thing?
Oh, yeah, that I could see that being a thing where people bring in, you have a card and they just punch holes out of it.
Pay ahead of time.
Yeah, you buy a card for $10 and it gets you 5 meals or whatever. But the dat thing is not really explained. He just says, without the E.
Yep.
That's the whole explanation of somehow if it doesn't have an E on the end, it's less serious and doesn't have the same rules, quote unquote rules as a date. So they agree to go on a dat.
Yeah, she's a little hesitant, but he's like, no, I've checked. There's no full moon anytime soon. So then Jack goes and sits with Pacey and Andie, which I'm like, okay, so you just left Joey to eat lunch without you?
Or Joey was going I don't know, man.
Yeah, but he tells them, he's like, yeah, I got a date with Joey. then he says to Andie, "Oh, I'm sorry. Do you mind watching Mom? I know it's my night with her."
Yeah.
And Andie like sweeps it under the rug, like, "Yeah, no, that's totally cool. It's whatever."
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's fine.
"Yeah, no, I really think she's getting better." And then Jack is like, "No, she's not."
Yeah, Jack is like, come on.
It's established that Andie and Pacey are just going to study at her house anyway, so they can watch Mom.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Dawson goes to Joey's house after school, and he's there to give her half of the prize money. He says, you won this money too, and I want you to use it how you want. I just want you to be happy. He notices that she's kind of dolled up, and he's like, "Hey, are you going somewhere?" And she's like, "Oh, hanging with a friend," which I'm like, what friend would he not know?
Yeah.
And Joey says something about like just being friends again and being happy that they're friends again, and asks what Dawson's new movie is going to be about. And he says he wants to do a love story where a boy gets the girl back.
Yeah. I'm not sure how literally like, is that supposed to be like a clear indication? It seems like a pretty clear indication of Joey, like, hey, I want you back.
Yeah. And Joey's like, "Huh, that's nice."
Yeah, she does the uncomfortable, like, oh, wow.
So, Dawson turns to leave, and Jack is right there.
Yeah.
And they have this awkward glance at each other. And Joey immediately feels bad.
Yeah.
And then Dawson is now helping his dad move into some warehouse. I'm wondering if it's supposed to be the same warehouse he maybe bought from Tamara.
Yeah, it seemed like a nicer, more like a finished loft is what it looked like.
Maybe he's just really into warehouses.
Yeah, maybe that's his thing. But that was sort of like his dad was trying to get Dawson to hang out with him. He's like, hey, I could use your help. And
Dawson's being a cranky pants.
Dawson is being a dick.
Yeah, because his dad's like, I just want us to be able to talk freely and openly. And he's like, "How's Joey?" And he's like, "Joey dumped me and is falling for another guy." And then he's like, "Well, what about Jen?" He's like, "Probably drunk and stuck to a sidewalk somewhere." So he's just trying to be difficult.
Yeah.
But granted, his friends are going through things that it's like, yeah, Dad, I don't know how you can do better, but clearly he has other things going on too, other than just his family kind of falling apart.
Yeah. What I loved is when, I think it was this conversation, when Mitch says, like, nobody's out to get you. Because he's I mean, the Joey thing, I guess, is personal, but, like, Jen spiraling is not about you, Dawson. And your parents breaking up is not about you, Dawson. And it's easy to mix up something that affects you versus something that's actually about you.
Yeah.
If you're too absorbed in your own experience, you might take a lot of things personally that aren't really about you.
Are you talking about yourself? You were saying it in such a way that I thought that's what you were doing. And I was like, huh?
Oh, no, I was talking about Dawson.
Okay. All right.
Do you think I'm self-absorbed and assume things are about me?
No, but I know you worry. I think I remember you telling me like a friend asked you to have lunch or something, and you immediately thought that they wanted to talk to you about something that you did wrong, and I thought that was insane.
Thank you. That sounds familiar. Yes. And yes, it is insane.
Not that it's like
self-absorption, insecurity, same difference.
Yeah.
It really kind of is.
I mean, yeah, I always worry about, am I being too much this way or that way? And it really is just anxiety.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be self-absorbed. It's just hard to think about anyone else when I'm constantly critiquing myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, his dad's really trying here. He says, like, yeah, no one's out to get you. He gives him keys to his weird loft and says, I want you to feel at home here. Yeah, and Dawson's just like, I don't want a friend, I want a father.
Which I don't really feel like. Yes, Mitch said we can hang out like friends, but I don't feel like Mitch was ever trying to, like, be a friend instead of a father.
Yeah. He wasn't like, come on, let's go get drunk somewhere.
Yeah, but I think it sounds like Dawson. What he's implying with that is, like, a father who stays in the house with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Who stays in a loveless marriage that makes everyone unhappy. That's what dad is.
Yeah. So after this encounter with his dad, Dawson goes to Jen's house and is like, you know what? Actually, I do want to go to that party with you.
Mm-hmm.
And Jen's like, sure, okay, that'll be fun. But just so you know, this is not a date. You're way too far gone as a rebound case, which I'm like, didn't she just want him like not that long ago? But now we're supposed to believe that she's like, yeah.
She's trying to, which I think can be done well, just embrace being like a little crazy, little fun and out there. She's embracing being single and just having fun. But she's also probably trying to convince herself as much as Dawson that, like, it's not a date.
Yeah, I've had that problem where like friends say, "Oh, that guy likes you." And I'm like, "No, we're just friends." I can't think anything's happening here cuz that'll stress me out.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess next they're at the party and Jen can already tell Dawson feels out of place and is like internally judging everyone and he's like, "No, I'm just observing the destruction of young America."
Oh, God, yeah. And, like, on the one hand, like, I can identify with Dawson being at, like, a big loud party and being like, this isn't really fun for me.
Yeah, how is everyone else having so much fun?
Yeah, so that is an alienating experience sometimes when you're just like, it seems like everyone's having a great time, but I'm not really having a good time. But for him, it's so
Judgmental.
It's so judgmental, because, like, at least for me, it's often like, man, what's wrong with me that I'm, like, not, that everyone's having a good time and I'm not, or, like, everyone belongs here and I don't. And his response is that, wow, everyone else is beneath me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so shitty. And I'm not saying high schoolers should get drunk all the time, but, like, everyone is stupid sometimes, and you have to let them be, especially the people you love.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it goes back to him being young and naive and seeing the world as very black and white and good and bad.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, we'll see how Dawson does. Like, Jen immediately runs off and starts, like, dancing with Chris and some other dude and seems to, like, just naturally kind of fit into the situation, the vibe. And Dawson's like, yep, I'll just stand here, I guess.
Yeah.
Then we go to Andie's house. Pacey comes over. Her mom is out in the garden, like, gardening, and mentions Tim as if he's still alive, which is Andie's dead brother.
Yeah.
And Pacey just gets a look of concern on his face and, you know, goes over to Andie and is like, I thought you said she was getting better. You need to admit that, like, she's not getting better.
Okay, Pacey, you haven't spent enough time to decide what getting better is. Like, you're right. It's clear that, like, her mother is still not doing well, like, mentally and emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
But, also, especially when you're trying to care for someone, sometimes you pick your battles and be like, okay, it's not causing us all harm for her to believe. I don't know. It was more nuanced than I can expect.
Yeah, he's acting like he knows more somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, Andie brushes it off and they go to her room to study, and that's when Pacey sees her, like, wall of, like, trophies and ribbons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's just like, how do you manage all of this? Like, aren't you tired? And she's just like, you do what you gotta do. And I'm like, mental illness.
She's like, no, but I have to do all these things.
So, Jack is going on his date with Joey. They're sitting in the grass looking at some, like, beautiful city side, like, looking at a skyline of the a city where I'm like, you guys don't live in a city. Where are we?
They're sitting by some water and looking at some buildings.
Yeah, and there's like lightning happening.
Yeah.
And then Jack suddenly reveals he knows a lot about the weather and is like, yeah, that's heat lightning. He says that he almost got hit by lightning as a kid, that he's like really into, I don't know, he said something about particles charging and sciencey things. And he says it's nature's version of performance art. I'm like, okay.
Okay, that's... I mean, on the one hand, I kind of appreciate that he's into, like, abstract art and science. Like, that's pretty interesting.
A man who has interests. It's so hot.
Well, also, it's just, we created this false... Maybe it wasn't as prevalent in 1998, but we've created this sort of, like, false divide between, like, scientific STEM people and creative artsy-fartsy people.
Yeah. And Joey's like, how do you know all this? And he's like, do you ever get bored and just watch the Weather Channel? Kids today will never know.
Sometimes you only got a few channels, and the Weather Channel is your best option.
Yeah. And you're like, what's the weather an hour from me? Because they don't know where I live.
I wonder if there's a cold front.
So then Joey starts talking about her experience with lightning, saying that her and Dawson tried to do the experiment with the kite and the key, like Benjamin Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you tried to electrocute yourselves?
Yeah. And I was just like, oh my god, shut up about Dawson.
Yeah. It then becomes clear. She's like, oh, I shouldn't have mentioned him. And Jack's like, look, I understand you guys have a history.
Mm-hmm.
Like your whole lives, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, at some point he says, well, you know, I don't know how he let you slip through his fingers, and he says something like, some things are worth fighting for, and I'm like, wow, they're really like giving him words.
They sure are giving him words. I think he was alluding to when Dawson like punched him in the eye.
Yeah. Did you fight back? You didn't really fight for her. You just kind of said some stuff and then he punched you in the eye.
Yeah, I think it's him continuing to try to hang out with her. Trying to continue to hang out with her is the fight, but it is... Overall, Jack's been really cool about Dawson punching him in the face.
They're trying to make him the bigger man, I think. Okay, so we're back at the party, and Dawson is watching Jen from afar. Chris sees Dawson doing this and walks up to him and asks, like, what's going on between him and Jen, assuming that he's, like, jealous or something. Yeah, Chris is just sexualizing her, basically, in this conversation. Just like, yeah, I get it. She's a fun time. Meanwhile, Jen's kind of getting, like, visibly sloppier in terms of just, like, being more relaxed and, like, drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we're at Andie's place again, and Andie and Pacey are studying. Andie gets a phone call, picks it up, and we don't know the conversation, but whoever she's talking to, she's like, please don't call the police. I'll come right away. They show up to this market where her mom wandered off to, and the woman working at the market mentions it's like the third time that she's done this.
Mm-hmm.
And her mom clearly looks scared and confused, and there's like a crowd forming around her, which is just so weird.
Yeah, I was like, it never became clear to me what she, like, did.
Yeah.
And also, if that's happening, maybe I have too much faith in people, but I feel like, I don't know, if you see someone having an obvious mental health crisis, you don't form a crowd to stare at them.
Yeah. I'm the kind of person that if I see you fall down and it's possible that you think I didn't see you, I'll pretend like I didn't see you.
Just clearly it is some kind of scene.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're right that Andie's mom just looked confused and really scared.
Yeah. And then Pacey is a hero. he comes up to her and starts like saying, yeah, let's get some groceries. And he grabs some marshmallows and she's like, oh, you don't want that. I'll make you a roast beef sandwich.
Yeah, and he's like,
Okay.
I would love that. You're my hero. Thank you. You're my
Yeah.
savior.
Yeah. And he's kind of like distracting her from the situation and like trying to pull her back into reality,
Yeah.
which is like a good tactic. Like, if you're dealing with someone who's having like a panic attack or something, you can like be like, what color are your shoes? What's I don't know. You just ask questions.
Yeah, just get them get their brain working on something else to
Mhm.
divert all that mental energy away from the panic.
Yeah. And yeah, somehow he calms her down enough and gets her to go back home.
Which made me think maybe Pacey should pursue a career in elder care or healthcare services or something.
Yeah, I honestly think he would be pretty great at that.
Because he likes to charm and sweet talk people and he doesn't mind.
He can put up with some bullshit. Like,
yeah. He kind of sees it all as a game, so he doesn't get too bogged down in it. So,
but yeah, sad scene.
Yeah, definitely a sad scene.
So we're back at the party, and Dawson sees Jen going upstairs with two guys, clearly drunk. So Dawson follows them up and sees her and two guys, I think one of them's Chris, on a bed starting to do stuff.
Yeah, starting to do stuff, but has to be able to play on basic cable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, basically, they've unbuttoned part of her shirt.
Yeah, and that's kind of a tough one, because, I mean, if you saw your drunk female friend being, led away by two men, I think it's pretty reasonable to, try to find a way to check in with her.
Mm-hmm.
And check on things. Dawson isn't that, doesn't give her that much agency.
No, he just picks her up and takes her out of there.
Yeah.
He picks her up, puts her over his shoulder, and, walks out of the house, so everyone's paying attention to this.
Yeah.
And he drops her out onto the ground out in the front yard, and she's, very upset at him. She's like, I had that under control. Why are you getting involved? And Dawson's just like, I'm not gonna, let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so she gets up and she starts walking away, and he's like, where are you going? And she's like, I'm going home. And he's like, you're going the wrong way.
Which, maybe could just be a function of her being drunk, but it could also just be hey, she's at a random person's house.
Yeah. So then she turns around, and I guess Dawson catches her before she walks away and says, you're avoiding that you're unhappy. She's like, well, I think you're avoiding that you're unhappy too, or something. Yeah. But he's like, I would prefer my melancholy because it's real.
This scene, there were points at which Dawson kind of reminded me of when someone's evangelizing to you and being like, no, I can tell you're unhappy. And you're just not even acknowledging how unhappy you are and how much happier you'd be if you would think and do things like me. I just want to share with you the glory and love and beauty of living like me.
That's true. And she says, I was having a good time, and then unfortunately needs to vomit.
Yeah, which that's tough when you're trying to defend yourself and then you have to vomit.
Yeah.
And legitimately, some people, a good time to them is getting a little drunk and having a threesome. And I wouldn't recommend that for the average 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Wouldn't generally recommend. But the fact that Dawson's sort of uniformly judgmental about anything having to do with I don't know, a party, kind of makes it harder to take him seriously when you're against everything I do. Why would I listen to you now?
Yeah. And she kind of gets to the point that you were saying where she's like, look, I don't need saving. Yeah. And she says, I've tried to be like you. I've tried to have faith that things will be better, basically. But she's like, I just don't have that kind of hope.
Yeah, that was hard because she paused and she's like, I don't have that hope. And yeah, you think the world's a good place and that good things happen to good people and effort and good acts are rewarded if your life has been like that. And, like, generally nothing that, until the last, like, year, nothing that bad has happened to Dawson. So he doesn't see why you wouldn't just play by the rules and do everything the straight-laced way. Because it's always worked for him. Sorry if this is reaching too much, but when people are, like, complain about people who, quote-unquote, don't want to work, or, like, young people who aren't going the extra mile at work, and they, you know, they leave right at 5 o'clock, and it's like, yeah, why did you stay past 5 o'clock? Because you thought, this will benefit me. I will be noticed. I'll be promoted. I'll have a secure job. I'll get a pension. All young people know that we should not have that hope. That it's foolish of us to hope for that. So we're not going to, like, go out there and follow these rules that we're not going to get anything in return for.
No, I don't think that's reaching. It is kind of like Dawson's like a boomer, and then Jen is like Gen Z.
Yeah, Jen's like Gen Z. Dawson's like, why don't you just do it the right way? She's like, the right way doesn't work.
At least it doesn't work for her.
Yeah, it doesn't work for her, and it's also not the only way.
But yeah, she's like, I just don't have that kind of hope. And then she says, that's what makes people like you so special. And then he says, Jen, you're special. He says, if you weren't so special, you wouldn't be so miserable. I understand that teenage feeling of, like, you feel pain because you're deep.
Yeah.
And you're different.
I guess sometimes for people that can be meaningful or, like, bring meaning to suffering. But it's also, I mean, it reminded me of when, like, people being like, oh, pain and suffering makes the best art. And it's like, I don't know if that's true. The sort of equating being special with being miserable rang a weird bell.
Yeah. I think I would argue maybe just feeling immensely good or bad makes you special. Maybe that's a better message.
Yeah, sure. I guess there's always better ways to say things, but he's alluding, I guess, to Jen having, like, knowing that she could be having more meaningful. I don't know what he's trying to do. He says, you're sad, so you're special. Which, if that's the case, I'm super fucking special.
I'm so special, they had to put me on drugs to be not as special.
Yeah, I was too special.
I was so special that someone had to talk to me about how special I was.
I pay someone to talk about how special I am.
Anyways, it feels like maybe they're on better terms after that conversation. I guess, I don't know. I mean, Jen clearly is going through some pain and she's dealing with it in her own way. And I think having Dawson acknowledge that she's going through something and trying to, like, reach her in some kind of way is helpful to her, even though their experiences are so different that he can't really fully understand or, like, understand what she's going through or understand her behaviors because of her situation.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Pacey and Andie, because it's sort of like Dawson saying, like, I believe in you, like, I believe that, like, you don't have to be this way, but he's just being really judgmental about it.
Jen says, I can't go home, and Dawson's like, I know a spot.
Which I did not put together until they got to that scene. I was like, where's he gonna take her?
Yeah, understandable. Also, like, couldn't you just take her to your house? That's what you guys have been doing, but okay.
Yeah, maybe this place was closer.
Oh, I can understand that, being with a friend who's, like, drunk enough that you're like, you need the closest solution.
Yeah, the closest, quickest solution.
So, Jack and Joey are walking back from their date. They seem to have had a good time. They kiss, and they're all smiley. And they just had a nice time.
And that's kind of it for that storyline.
Yep.
Good for them.
Yeah. So, we're now back at Andie's house, and Andie is putting her mom to bed. Apparently, when she, like, has these moments of panic, like, she just kind of crashes afterward. And Pacey expresses concern for Andie. Sorry, I'm trying to understand my notes here. So yeah, Pacey is worried about Andie. Andie's like brushing it off. And Andie says like, I'm proud of you for like handling the situation with my mom. And Pacey says that it feels weird for him to hear that.
Which is a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was obviously such a kind, good thing to do. And
Because a lot of teenage boys would be like, okay, this is weird and I gotta go.
yeah.
Yeah, they have that nice moment and Pacey's like, well, let's go. And he's like motioning to go up to her bedroom and she's like, ooh, for what? And he's like, we still got 3 chapters to read. That is probably the sexiest thing you could say to Andie.
Yeah, probably. And Andie's response even was a little like, I was like, oh, it sounds like you're like, you want something to happen, Andie?
Mhm.
Whereas, you know, an episode ago, she was like, you've had sex?
Let's see. Dawson ends up bringing Jen to his dad's, and Dawson apologizes for being hard on his dad. He's sorry he's like expected his dad to be like infallible, like to be a perfect dad.
Mm-hmm.
And Mitch says that he wants to be Dawson's friend, but he also wants to be his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Dawson comes over to Jen, who's laying in bed, which like apparently his bed is in like a caged in area, and I was like, this is giving like Saw vibes. Like you have a passed out girl on a bed behind a chain link fence.
I was like, yeah, chain link fence, but it seemed more like, oh, this is a cool loft for a
Yeah.
single guy.
It's really masculine.
Oh, it's all metal and wood.
Let's see. Dawson comes with like a glass of water. Jen refers to him as like my hero, jokingly, but
Yeah.
and Dawson's like, I'm not a hero, I'm just a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And Jen asks, I don't want to say she's half out of it, but just like, you know, casually like asks about his new movie, like what's it going to be about? And he's like, I think it's going to be a romance, like star-crossed lovers.
Mm-hmm.
And she asks, how does it end? And he said, I don't know yet. And Jen says, no happy ending. Things never end happy in real life. I'm like, okay, girl.
Yeah.
And Dawson says, get some sleep. You'll feel better in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I really wish that were true.
Yeah. Oh.
And I wrote
Yeah.
in parentheses, concerning.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that sounds like depression.
Yeah. That sounds like maybe she shouldn't be left alone.
Well, they can see her through the chain link fence.
It cuts to Dawson's room. It looks they're zoomed in on the tragedy mask, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And it zooms out to Joey coming through the window.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like she fully expects Dawson to just be waiting there. Like,
Yeah.
to just be there all the time. She finds that he's not there. And, I don't know, she, like, looks around and seems kind of, like, has a smile.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're trying to say with this ending. Like, they're living their own lives, or they're spending time away. And that's good.
Yeah, it was pretty open-ended, but the little smile does show that, like, she's not devastated that he's not there. Like, clearly she went up because she thought he was, but she takes it as, like, a good thing that he isn't there.
Yeah.
And I think it's what you said, like, they're sort of living separate lives, and they don't have to necessarily fulfill the same expectations they have since they were little kids.
She's like, huh, I have no idea where he is right now. That's cool. I also am like, those writers really just had to find a reason to get the bedroom ending in. They're like, we gotta end it in his bedroom. And that's the end.
And that's the end of Season 2, Episode 8.
So,
Whose
creek is it?
Is it? sort of feel like it's Dawson's Creek. I think because there was sort of some kind of progressing or touching on his relationship with Joey. We were kind of returning to his, like, family home life situation, and he had a bit of evolution there. He was, like, an active player in Jen's storyline. But at the same time, he only sort of really progressed, like, an inch. Like, he's still been really judgmental. He still thinks that, like, his way is the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have another idea?
Not really. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. Everyone has a piece of the creek, this episode. Pacey is having some kind of, like he might be turning a corner in, like, how he sees himself or, like, how he wants to be seen.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I don't suck at everything.
I think I have to agree with you that it was Dawson's Creek. I wouldn't say it's Dawson's Creek because he was a great guy. Not because he was a hero.
Yeah, no, not because he was a hero. It sounds like we're both at a place of, yeah, it was Dawson's Creek, but I'm not, like, happy about it. Or I'm not pleased with his overall behavior.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like he just had the most scenes or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the cafeteria's creek.
You know what? I think it might have been the cafeteria's creek. The Cape Side High School cafeteria's creek. Honorable mention.
Yeah. It was Dawson's Creek. I think he's had a few so far this season.
It's been known to happen.
Good for him. Okay, so the next episode, season 2, episode 9, called The Election. Did the movie Election come out before this? I think it did.
I don't remember which year.
Yeah, I'm going to Google it right now.
Okay.
Just real quick.
Oh no, what if there was a storyline about a teacher sleeping with a student?
It was released in 1999, it looks like.
Oh. Yeah, it was part of, like, 1999 was a huge year for, like, teen and high school cinema.
Yeah. Huh, that's funny. I thought that maybe this episode was somehow influenced some kind of election.
Probably, like, student body presidents.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, then, we will see you for next episode. Bye.
Bye.